Yeah, oh, it was a knowledge. Just first everywhere. Just do it first everywhere.
Welcome back.
Appreciate you being here, dude. How are you this morning? See you in chat. Super first. It's true.
Welcome back.
I don't think you'll catch Base Guru by the end of the year, though. Hey, dude, 15 stream streak. Let's go. There's a thing now where you can keep your streaks up if you go like watch a clip or watch the VOD from a stream. I gotta remember to start doing that. I don't know if I care enough about my watch streaks for people. Now, to be fair, Twitch regularly forgets to tell me that you're live and you're at work. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on there. I'm worried it's my channel specifically. There's always a chance. If we create more days in the year. Work just hates my channel. It's fair. I get it. I would feel the same way if I were a work. Good to see everybody this morning. Oh man. I have to go add in all the other chats. I've totally forgotten to add TikTok and the others. I was just like enjoying the conversation this morning. I forgot about everybody else. I'm sorry. Thanks for being here. Our Wi-Fi network block switch to VPN makes it super janky. It's understandable. Wow, it's still not showing up here. Why is that? You know, it sits here and says my connection is great. We've switched you to a higher video quality, but it doesn't mean a thing if the chat details aren't showing. Stop it and start again. See if that'll work. There it goes. Okay. Yay, it's working. We have chat. We have chat. Okie dokie. Well, we can go ahead and just jump right into game news. Happy today, whatever day it is. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Good to see you all, wherever you're watching from. I appreciate you being here. We have a few things to talk about. Most notably, Nintendo's latest financial report came out, and it was big news. Big news from the big N, as it were. We also have a few other things to talk about. Some major stuff coming from Sony. Unofficial, but major nonetheless. And an update to the PS Portal that I think we all kind of wanted day one. So let's dive in. Game news mode is active in chats, meaning I will be responding to topical or relevant chat messages. But good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Wherever you're watching from, thanks for being here. Drop a sunglasses face emoji if you're actively listening. If you're lurking, I appreciate it. Thanks. But let's hop into our first topic. All right, we got the first round of Game Pass games coming. I have canceled Game Pass. The $30 price point was too much. I don't play it enough to justify spending half the cost or almost half the cost of a new game every month on it. So I'm going over this and I'm looking, and I already see some concerns. There's some decent looking games here, but let's dive into it a little deeper. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is out this month on November 14th. This game is doing a lot of heavy lifting for Game Pass this month. This game is also the reason the price went up. 100% can tell you that. The cost of Game Pass went up to offset the people not buying Black Ops because they got it in Game Pass, right? Dead Static Drive, no idea what that is. Sniper Elite, I mean, solid game, a solid series. Egging On, this game looked really fun. It was on the ID at Xbox Showcase. We watched a trailer for it last week. Looked hilarious. It looked great. Some of these other games don't even have trailers or art. Whiskerwood, Void Train, Great God Grove, Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. That's an older game. Interesting to see it coming back. Pigeon Simulator. I don't know about that one. The art makes it look chaotic, but so is Goat Simulator. So, what are we getting here? Relic Hunter's Legend. Don't know what that is. Winter Burrow. This game looked good. Don't know much else about it. I remember watching a trailer, so it's probably a good game. And then recently, Keeper, Outer Worlds 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Pacific Drive were all added to Game Pass, which are all great games by all accounts. You know, AAA publishers. Pacific Drive looks really good. I played it a little bit on PC. We tried to stream it, but it didn't happen. And then let's talk about what's leaving. Blacksmith Master, okay. Football Manager 24 and Console Edition. Frostpunk, Spirit Tea, and Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. This one surprises because this was a huge title for Game Pass back when the Series S and X launched. To see it leave Game Pass so quick, it feels like it's leaving quick. I don't know how long it's been there, to be honest. I don't know how long it's been a part of Game Pass. It doesn't feel like it's been there very long. But I maintain my original stance. If we look at the list, which for some reason is super duper zoomed in, very unusual. There we go. If we look at this picture, though, Black Ops 7 is doing all the heavy lifting for Game Pass this month and probably next month too. I would say, Game Pass is a harder sell at $30 a month for Ultimate, and Standard you won't get Black Ops 7 until next year. So if the $20 and the waiting time don't bother you, maybe Game Pass Standard is the play. I mean, you get cloud streaming no matter what now, so that's awesome. But yeah, it's a weird situation, right? I'm not too excited about Game Pass like I used to be. But it's a cost versus value thing. I like Call of Duty. I don't have a problem with the games like other people do, but I haven't really sat down to play a Call of Duty in a number of years. I'll play it off and on. So that's not like Call of Duty isn't. I'm not paying for Game Pass for Call of Duty. I guarantee you that. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Okay, big PlayStation news. A PS5 and PC cross-buy option has been discovered and verified. This comes from Insider Gaming. We've got the write-up on it and then the source tweet for it. We'll go over. I even tweeted the picture as well. It said we could finally be getting PS5 and PC cross-buy capabilities as the symbol has been discovered in the PlayStation Store data. While it's not official, the new report means the PlayStation is testing the waters with PS5 and cross-buy, and owners of both platforms could be in for a dual entitlement sooner rather than later. Think Play Anywhere from Xbox. Cross-buy, when you buy the Xbox version, you also have the PC version. Tons of games are getting Play Anywhere support from Microsoft. And I'm sure Sony is looking to make their offerings a little more appealing as much as they've pushed PC releases. For the longest time, Xbox and PC owners have been able to enjoy cross-buy purchases, meaning you can buy a game on Xbox and also play the title on PC and vice versa. If a new report is accurate, PC players might be about to get the best of both worlds. So that's the other thing. There's a lot of appeal in, hey, I can start my game in my living room, but play it on my phone or cloud or whatever. Dual entitlement sounds like a very progressive term. Kinda does. We're talking strictly digital licensing here, and they call those entitlements. Because, they do. Because they couldn't find a more fun word, being people that make video games. There was no other fun words available. We had to use words like entitlement. Alright, news first broke on November 4th. That was yesterday at the time of this video. New symbols had been discovered in PlayStation source files. The initial findings came from X account Amethyst. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but I'm close. New symbols will be added soon, website and tool, but here's some nice new features from PlayStation. Yes, some are old, others are unseen, a kind of echo mode, PS5, PC games, and cross-buy. The message also showed the symbols, what they looked like, and it all seemed very real. So this is the screenshot that's going around. I posted on my profile. The important part, the other symbols are there, but the important part is this cross-buy label with like PlayStation symbol colors on it, and then this PS5/PC moniker, which we've seen this same style for a PS4 or PS5 cross-gen title, right? Brent, good to see you in chat. We've seen that before though, right? Like that's styling that looks accurate, but now it just says PC in very plain non-PlayStation letters. So it was a big yet confident statement, but there has been a fair amount of trepidation about the potential claim. However, reliable outlet Deal Labs has done some testing into the matter. And they said, we decided to conduct our own investigation on the new symbols discovered, but especially on their date of addition to determine if they are not really old symbols. The ever-reliable Bill Coon described how they were inserting special characters in the About section of our PlayStation Network account, and the result does indeed show that these symbols actually exist. More evidence was found on top of this. Before the addition of these symbols, other clues were present through the PlayStation Store data. In some of the site's CSS files, we also discovered the mention of cross-buy tag in some properties of the file. We tried to reproduce the CSS style on text, and the result corresponds exactly to the symbol found on the consoles. The result is shown in the image below. You can also do the test yourself through this template created by us on CodePen. It's interesting approach there. It says, would this be a huge coup for PC gamers, PS5 players for that matter? And then talk to us on Discord and such. Here's what I think is going to happen, though. We talked, maybe a year or more ago about PlayStation attempting their own PC client. They do sell their games on Steam, and I believe the Epic Store. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. No, they do. Okay. But anyway, it's a big deal. Sony publishes their games to other PC stores, but what if they had their own? Would they stop supporting Steam? I don't think so. That would be a dumb move because people like buying games on Steam. People's libraries are on Steam. They're not going away from Steam. However, as a person who maybe has a PlayStation and is interested in PC gaming, if some of my games suddenly had a cross-buy tag on them and were like grandfathered into the program, which would make sense if they were, I would use the PlayStation client. And so I think it's notable that this is coming out now, but I think that PC client maybe shadow drops or shows up all of a sudden. I don't know how accurate that is. It's just speculation. I'm not a guy with connections. I'd love to have some connections. I'd like to be that guy. I want to be a part of an inside joke one day. Anyway, stupid reference if anybody gets it. But my point is, like, pure speculation that PC client disappeared from discussion. Either it was canceled or whatever. But there was a lot of discussion about it, like I said, last year or some years ago. And hasn't been brought up since. I think if they're going to manage a cross-buy entitlement like this, they're going to have to do their own storefront. Or have a really nice partnership / integration with Steam to grant licenses for PS5 games? Unlikely. I don't see that happening. Steam would lose money, and by extension, PlayStation would lose money. So, no, they're gonna have their own client, strictly for buying PC games that are also on PS5. But maybe PC exclusives, I don't know. But it'd be awesome. I'd love to see this. I'm very excited for this feature to roll out and seeing what games might be included in that. You know, is it going to be existing titles that suddenly, hey, you can get them on PC or PlayStation? Like, you know, you just play wherever. Do your saves come over, right? Like, does if I have my Spider-Man save, does it just PlayStation Cloud, you know, sync it, and there we go. Like, as long as I'm a PlayStation Plus member, that makes sense. Currently, Microsoft has the edge on that. You don't even have to subscribe to have cloud saves. You just have to have your Microsoft account. So I hope PlayStation is taking a similar approach. It does look like it's very play anywhere ish. It's gonna benefit gamers in the long run. But I also think they have to stay competitive with that. Like, cross-buy is going to become important for PC because more and more people are going to buy PlayStation games on PC. And if they start doing day-and-date releases, this is going to be more important than ever. You know, PlayStation's going to want more of their money. So if they're going to release on PC, they might as well manage their own store along with the Steam store, right? Anyway, I thought it was cool. All right, let's talk about another PlayStation update. Oops, I scrolled down too far. PS Portal gets so much better today in huge UI cloud streaming update. They dropped a trailer. I don't know if we can show it. It might get us flagged, but we could watch it anyway. Who cares?
Neon.
So stream games from the cloud, which we knew was coming. This was like a beta a while back. But you have to have the highest tier of PS Plus to use it. But there's like a bunch coming with this, right? Like, he's like, don't watch me play. Go away, child. I'm busy. Adding 3D audio. So there you go. Now, the ability to stream cloud games is awesome. What's up, Squid? Rhino, good to see you. Silly childs. Don't understand how PS Plus game drops work. Every month they add or remove games. But now, like, this was my biggest complaint about the PS Portal, sorry, not PS Plus, but the PlayStation Portal when it dropped, was that there was no cloud option at all. You had to do it on a local network with a PlayStation or have a really good network connection for like a VPN and such. So today, it's out of beta. The PS Portal gets an update. Its patch is available now. Available for PS Plus premium subscribers to stream. 2,800 PS5 titles can be streamed for the PS Portal, including hundreds that are included in PS Plus Extra and PS Plus Premium. If you've either bought the game or have it redeemed through PS Plus, you'll be able to stream it instantly via the portal. Cloud streaming unlocks a new way to play. Enjoy games side by side with a friend who's using your PS5 under a separate account, or stream your favorite game while someone else watches a movie on the console. Cloud streaming also makes it easier to enjoy PS5 games on the go, at a hotel, cafe, friend's place, or anywhere with a high-speed internet Wi-Fi connection, since you can keep playing even when your PS5 console back home is powered off or in use by another account. And there you go. They've also added 3D audio support, a passcode lock, network status screen, which is good for cloud streaming. PS5 library screenshot sound. Squid, nothing is stopping you from using remote play. You just don't have the cloud streaming on the portal. Like, this is a pure firmware update to the PS Portal that makes the PS Portal suddenly more useful. Let's see, in-game store, so you can now buy stuff in your cloud games, and then certain accessibility options, my bad, game invitations. So yes, the PS Portal is now worth, maybe not worth the $200, $250. I don't know what it's selling for. I haven't kept up with it. But hey, I've been seeing them all over Facebook Market in my area. I might pick one up used and mess with that. That might be cool. I don't know. But definitely worth checking out now that cloud streaming is available on it, because now you don't actually need the PlayStation 5 for it to be a useful device. All right, let's move on. All right, it's another week of game news, another studio closing. NetEase closing one of its studios after just 2 years of being open. This is an Insider Gaming. NetEase is closing one of its studios. Per studio head Greg Street, Fantastic Pixel Castle will be shutting down as of November 17th. It's likely that the entirety of the staff at the studio will be made redundant. Well, I mean, if they're shut down, what do you have staff for? While there's a chance we can secure funding after that date, it will depend on how much of the team remains, Street said on LinkedIn. While we'd love to make our game, our first priority is to help our developers find employment, whether that's at indie studio Fantastic Pixel Castle 2.0 or many of the other fine and hopefully stable game and tech companies out there. This is a wild time to be in the tech sector, I can guarantee that. But it kind of feels like it's been a wild time for the last decade or so. Fantastic Pixel Castle was formed in 2023 by NetEase and had been working on a AAA, there you go, that's the problem, MMO, oh, double-edged like stab wound there, codenamed Ghost. Prior to heading Fantastic Pixel Castle, Street was lead systems designer on World of Warcraft. To the literally dozens of people who reached out trying to help us raise capital, or through introductions to people who could, you humble me, he continued. There's still a chance one of them works out, and it really only takes one. To our supporters at NetEase, thanks for taking a chance on us. From our team, I appreciate you coming with me on this journey. Let us hope we can continue to work together. The studio's confirmed closure comes just weeks after Street first announced that NetEase was pulling funding from the studio. At the time, he said that NetEase had been gracious and supportive while they looked for a new publisher. So, yeah, it's just a sign of the times, y'all. MMOs, I guess, aren't it right now, aren't a safe investment for large companies. I really hope, everybody can find a place to work and enjoys their job. I kind of hope this MMO, like if it was going to be good, maybe can continue to be worked on. Definitely a bummer, though. I hate seeing people fired and losing their jobs because, the money ran out and you guys haven't produced anything. Game development's hard, y'all. When I say it, I feel like we have the same conversation every week, but I won't reiterate every statement there. Just, hope everybody comes out on top. All right. Ooh, new trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond comes out very soon. That game looks so good. I'm so excited for this. Scanning. I really hope it's fun. It looks like everything I want. Plus a motorcycle. Akira slide. I knew it was coming. As soon as I saw the motorcycle, I knew we were getting an Akira slide at some point. Look at these amiibo. Amiibo have gotten too expensive. Like, retail price expensive. Yes, Age of Imprisonment does come out tomorrow. It's reviewing very well. I didn't cover that. Alright, let's talk about Nintendo. Their patent lawsuit against Palworld. Well, Nintendo's patent is being re-examined by the U.S. Patent Office. A significant development has transpired in Nintendo's patent infringement lawsuit case against Palworld, as one of their patents is being re-examined by the U.S. Patent Office. This is like hot on the heels of the Japan patent rejection review that we covered either last week or earlier, like Monday. When did we last talk about it? I don't remember, but we talked about it recently, and this is huge. In September 2025, Nintendo acquired a patent amid its lawsuit against Palworld. The patent in question, U.S. patent number 12 million something, relates to summoning characters and allowing them to engage in combat against one another. Now, the U.S. Patent Office Director has personally ordered the office to re-examine the patent. Dude's a Palworld fan. Nintendo's patent against Palworld is being re-examined due to 2 prior art references. According to a report by GameSpray, U.S. Patent Office Director John A. Squires has personally ordered, at his own initiative, that the organization re-examines Nintendo's patent against Palworld due to 2 older U.S. patent applications. U.S. patent claims 1, 3, 25, and 26 are the ones under review, and if they fall, then the other ones will fall as well, like a house of cards. The re-examination is being conducted due to the failure to cite prior art references in support of the issuance of this patent. The 2 prior art references have been specified as well. Nintendo's 397 patent is related to character summons in combat, and it seems Konami and Nintendo itself have patents that can be considered prior art. Konami's patent application was filed in 2001 and published in 2002. The other is Nintendo's own patent application, which was filed in 2019 and published in 2020. Both of these prior art references teach a player being allowed to perform a battle in a manual mode and a simpler automatic mode. For those wondering, re-examination doesn't mean the patent will be revoked. Nintendo will have 2 months to come up with a response, and during that time, third parties can also present challenges through other prior art references. Moreover, if Nintendo tries to sue over patent 397 in a United States District Court, the court would stay the proceedings pending the outcome of the re-examination. This is awesome. The director initiated the order for ex parte re-examination to address the element that the original examiner believed made Nintendo's patent distinct from the prior art. Moreover, there might not be any more developments in Nintendo's lawsuit against Palworld in this calendar year, but 2026 should see some decisions come into play by presiding judge Motoyuki Nakashima. Regarding the lawsuit, one of Nintendo's anti-Palworld patents was recently rejected in Japan. Additionally, the Switch 2, this is more stuff we're going to talk about later, but it was recently rejected there, and now we have the U.S. Patent Office actually looking at it. Nintendo had 2 months to justify vaguely defined game mechanics that are older than Pokemon itself. Yeah, that's really the crux of it, right? Is we're talking about things that have existed in gaming for a very long time, suddenly being called into question like Nintendo owns it because they have Pokemon. That ain't how it works. That'll never be how it works. And so it's good to see this dude at the patent office going, hey, and I'd be willing to bet that the guy either has family or someone close to him that's like, hey, what do you think about this? Don't you find this weird? And then the Japanese patent office taking the actions that they did last week, kind of stir that up, because it's like, hey, why would they do that? And we better look at this because we granted a similar or the exact same patent, but in the US. It's perfect. I love to see it. I'm really excited to see how this turns out, because this is a huge step in the right direction. It's not a victory for PocketPair or Palworld, but it is a step in the right direction and could lead to a victory, a huge victory for PocketPair and gaming as a whole. All right, well, let's move on. Because I can rag on Nintendo, but let's talk about a few positives first. Pokemon ZA Mega Dimension is getting a new trailer. That's a DLC. Get a new trailer tomorrow. Don't know what to expect, but I'm excited to see. Maybe, hey, it's worth buying now. I don't know. I haven't even finished the main game yet, so I'm not in a rush to pick up this DLC. But as soon as it's available, as soon as I finish the main game and stuff is starting to be available for it, I'll consider it. All right, let's move. All right, here's our big story. The Switch 2 sells over 10 million units, increases their forecasts even further. So, Nintendo's released its financial data for the 6-month period ending September 30th, 25, and has provided updated sales figures for the Switch 2. The console has now sold at least 10.36 million units, according to the official figures, which is seemingly more than even Nintendo itself was anticipating. As such, the company has increased its forecast for the year, bumping expected Switch 2 sales up from 15 million to 19 million. Switch 2 software has seen a similar jump from 45 million to 48 million. Naturally, this also means sales for the original Switch family of systems has tanked, with the console pulling in a meager 1.89 million in sales, a hefty drop of 60% year over year. As a result, Nintendo has decreased its forecast for Switch accordingly, lowering console sales from 4.5 million to 4 million. On the flip side, however, thanks to the magic of backwards compatibility, the software forecast has increased from 105 million to 125 million, a bump of 19%. So, kind of crazy. Yikes. Interesting comment there. And deleted. Sorry, just had to remove that. That was odd. Anyhow, all right. So what does this mean? What are we looking at? Here's how the Switch 2 is sold across various regions: 3 million in the North American region, 2 million in Europe, 2 million in Japan, and roughly 2 million everywhere else. 1.9 million. With the help of bundles, Mario Kart World has also sold an extraordinary amount, shifting a total of 9.57 million units since launch, a remarkable attach rate of over 92%. Meanwhile, it's been confirmed that Donkey Kong Bonanza has sold 3.49 million units, which perhaps isn't as high as fans would have hoped for. Still, it's a good start nevertheless. Nintendo states that a total of 20.62 million units, software units for the Switch 2 have been sold since launch, of which approximately 8.1 million were bundled with the console itself. A solid start for Switch 2. As expected, this also means gross profit also saw a nice little bump for the company. I don't care as much about the financial stuff. I just want to point out that the Switch 2 selling 10 million units, surprising everybody. Surprising everybody is like just counter to everybody saying, it's terrible, it's not going to sell, it's going to fail, it's going to be worse than the Wii U. And here we are. We're not even 6 months into its lifespan. It's been out a few months, and it's already hit the 10 million mark. Like it's a Nintendo product. It's backwards compatible. It is a little expensive. I'm not going to pretend like dropping, $500 on a system plus a game. Not to mention the increased cost of the games on their own. Like that does come into play some, but I mean, gamers find a way, we'll make the ends meet, I guess. It's just impressive to me that, with all of the naysaying and the expert analysis we see out there, to just have Nintendo still drop a hardware success twice in a row. Switch 1 doing very well, and Switch 2 just looks to carry that momentum even further. Backwards compatibility really helps. I really appreciate the way Nintendo did it this time around. That's going to be a huge selling point, and then holiday sales, just we don't have numbers for that yet. That's going to be a huge turning point for like Donkey Kong. Pokemon's going to do really well. There's a lot. Metroid, I really hope hits a very high point as well. Like I don't foresee any first party games tanking, but Drag X Drive, how did that do? I don't know. Who bought that? Zeke? If Zeke was in chat, he could tell me. All right, anyway. We have more sales data to talk about. All right, so 84% of Switch 2 players transitioned from the original Switch. The new hybrid system's now sold over 10 million. So yeah, I thought that was cool. It's pretty self-explanatory. In their financial report, they talk about it. 84% of Switch 2 players have transitioned from Nintendo Switch. I'm guessing they're saying the number of people that went through the transfer process versus the number of people that didn't with a Switch 2. That would be my guess on how they determine that. Breakdown on adoption timing among Switch 2 users. Wow. So people that recently bought a Switch 1 are not buying a Switch 2 as much. But if you bought it in 2017, it's very likely you've already made the jump or will very soon, I would say. But that's cool. It's cool to see. Most of us were like, hey, we just want better hardware. And that's what it was. I like the Switch. I just want it to be better. However, the Switch 1 is poised to be Nintendo's best-selling console of all time. 10,000 units separate it from the original DS. We've been positively itching to see the latest financial report from Nintendo, as we had expected Switch to finally surpass the DS and become the company's best-selling console of all time. That hasn't quite happened yet. At 154.01 million units, the Switch is a mere 10,000 units away from the DS, And considering the data is only viable to the end of September 25, it's likely the gap has already been closed in the couple of months following. We don't know that though, so we just have to assume for now that the DS is still in the lead. Still, what a remarkable feat by the Switch. Let's not forget the console commands the most software sales by a huge margin, shifting a total of 1,452.79 million units. DS, meanwhile, managed 948.76 million. Looking at Switch 2, which has now sold 10 million units just after 4 months on market, it's only 3.2 million units away from surpassing the Wii U. Which is kind of the running joke, right? It's going to be worse than the Wii U. It's like, yeah, but no, that's the Wii U lifetime sales. That target ain't ever changing at this point. So the current standings, the Switch is right behind the DS and will likely overtake it. I assume the holiday season is going to be insane because you still have Switch Lites that are counted in these numbers, I think, and Switch OLEDs. And then, regular launch or whatever, like the Switch V2 that had like the redesigned internals and stuff. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. That all is counted in this, and same with like the DS. This is like DS Lite and original DS and XL. That's all counted there. But yeah, that's gonna happen. Holiday season 25 is gonna be interesting because Switch 2 sales are going to jump, but I think there's going to be a lot of people getting Switch Lites for their kids. That's what I did last year. Bought a Switch Lite for my kid so she could have her own console, and it was a great idea. I don't know if she wants her own Switch 2, but maybe, that'd be something I'd consider. Is it time to buy a second Switch 2 for my household? Not quite yet. We're not there. But very cool to see Switch 1 becoming the best-selling Nintendo console of all time, which is insane if you think about it. Anyway, let's move on. All right. It's insane considering that the DS has just remained on top because of just how cool it was and how different it was. I thought this was interesting as well. Supply of Switch hardware will continue if enough demand persists. So basically, we'll keep ordering parts and things and selling Switch 1 hardware as long as people are buying it. That's how economics work. I don't know if there's much to dive into there, but that's how that works. Was that it? Was that all I got? Wow. I ran through the game news so quick this morning. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about, I'm going to be honest. It was mostly the Switch 2 news, and the sales numbers from Nintendo, and also the Metroid Prime 4 trailer. I thought that was important as well. But yeah, that'll do it this morning. I didn't have good notes on how far I was in the list of articles, but that'll do it. So what is going on the rest of the week for streams? I'll be playing Pokemon Unite on Friday morning, and that will be the next stream. So no streams tonight because it's Wednesday. I have church. And no stream on Thursday. And then just kind of going forward, the stream schedule is going to be all over the place, right? My wife has started basketball, so Tuesdays and Thursdays, some Mondays. So it'll be changing, but the morning times will not change. So you guys can always look forward to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday streams. And with that, I'm wrapping up. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you'll have a fantastic day ahead of you. I love each and every one of you. Very thankful for your support. And we're going to send it on to somebody. Let's raid GCG this morning. He's got some good stuff going on. He's playing Hades too. He's a good dude. All right. Denala, thanks for being here. All right. See you guys later.